Well, we're trying to make the factor here, and it is equal to x minus the root. Well, the root is 2 plus radical 3. And 2 plus radical 3 is both part of the root. Like, the root is this whole thing. So we have to subtract that whole thing. So we get x minus 2 minus radical 3. So that's our factor. Then this one is x minus, parentheses, 2 minus radical 3. And so that is x minus 2 plus radical 3. So when you have a 2 plus and minus something, it doesn't matter what order you multiply these. Like, it doesn't matter if you take this times this, x minus 2 minus radical 3 times that, x minus 2 plus radical 3. Because multiplication is commutative, it doesn't matter if you put this one first or if you put this one first. One of them is going to have a minus and one of them is going to have a plus beside the radical. You know, it's plus and minus radical 3. It's not plus and minus 2. The factor is x minus the thing. Well, the 2 is always positive. So when you do x minus the root, you're going to have an x minus 2 in both parentheses. So just remember to change the sign of whatever number is front. So if this was a negative 2, it'd be x plus and x plus. Then the end of it is plus and minus. It doesn't matter which is which. Okay? Now, when we go to do this, let me grab a colored pencil. You need to think of them as A's and B's. So that's going to be my A, and the radical 3 is going to be my B. Okay? Let me shade that in even more. The x minus 2 is your first thing. Okay? If your green thing is A and the orange thing is your B, and you have an A minus B and an A plus B, then we know that that's equal to A squared minus B squared. So if your A is x minus 2, you're going to do x minus 2 squared minus B, which is radical 3 squared. You might be thinking, why are we doing that? Why don't we just distribute it out? Because it's a mess. But you could take x times this and get x squared. Negative 2x plus x radical 3 minus 2x plus 4 minus 2 radical 3 minus x radical 3 plus 2 radical 3 minus 3. And all that stuff is going to cancel out except this stuff. So this is way easier, I believe. So x minus 2 squared, you should be getting pretty good at that by now. That's x squared minus 4x plus 4. And then this is minus 3. So you're just going to combine your last two numbers. The 4 minus 3 gives you a 1. So you have x squared minus 4x plus 1. So that equals your polynomial. If you were to take that and do the quadratic formula with it, let's look and see what you would get. Negative b plus or minus radical b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. 16, oh, not 16 squared. B squared is 16. 16 minus 4 is 12. 4 plus and minus radical 12 all over 2. I can pull a 4 out of that. 4 plus and minus 2 radical 3 all over 2. The 4, the 2, and the 2 all reduce to a 1, and a 2. And guess what? You get 2 plus and minus radical 3. That's what we were told at the very beginning is our roots. Okay? So we're going backwards now. I'm giving you the answers for what makes the polynomial equal 0, and you're giving me the polynomial. Okay? Let's do one with an I in it. Okay? Same idea. So 4 plus 5i. Now, if you're given 4 plus 5i, you have to know that 4 minus 5i is also a root. Okay? So the factors are x minus the thing. So x minus 4 minus 5i, x minus 4 plus 5i. Now, I know that you can pause this. You can slow it down. So I'm going to go ahead and go through it fairly quickly. But if you need to pause it or slow the speed down, then absolutely do that. Okay? So the x minus 4 is your first thing. The 5i is your second thing. When you multiply that together, you get the first thing squared minus the second thing squared. X minus 4 squared is x squared minus 8x plus 16 minus 25i squared. This becomes plus 25. So you have x squared minus 8x plus 20, 30, 41. So that is your polynomial. If you do the quadratic formula with that, you will get 4 plus and minus 5i. Okay, let's do one with a negative in front. So let's say we have negative 3 plus 7i. Well, then your other root is going to be negative 3, the front thing stays the same, minus 7i. So my factors are going to be x plus 3 minus 7i times x plus 3 plus 7i. X plus 3 is the first thing, so I have x plus 3 squared. 7i is the second thing, so I have 7i squared. That's your a squared minus b squared. I have a minus b times a plus b. It equals a squared minus b squared. This is x squared plus 6x plus 9, and this is going to be plus 49 because it's minus 49i squared. So that's the same as plus 49 because I squared is negative 1. So x squared plus 6x plus 58 is equal to my y. It's my polynomial. Let's do one more with a radical in it. So, and go ahead and after I write the problem down, pause it and work it yourself and see if you can do it. So let's say I have negative 8 plus radical 2. Oops, no parentheses yet. So that means I also have negative 8 minus radical 2. So I have x plus 8 minus radical 2 times x plus 8 plus radical 2. First thing, second thing, first thing, second thing. First thing squared minus the second thing squared. First thing squared is x squared plus 16x plus 64 minus 2, because radical 2 squared is 2. So that's x squared plus 16x plus 62. That's your polynomial. Okay, your problems are in the book, and they're, I believe, odd problems, so you can check them in the back, and hopefully that makes sense to you.